Today, we are going to talk about an effective group discussion. Developing group discussion skills is useful for everyday life, as we regularly find ourselves having discussions amongst friends, family, and colleagues. These may vary from very informal chats about day-to-day things, to more serious topics. For example, a discussion about a recent news story, or a problem that needs to be solved. Group discussions offer an opportunity for extended speaking and listening practice by all contributors. In this video, we are going to look at how a group discussion should be handled, and dive deeper on the skills students need to master in order to participate actively. Here, we divide the group discussion into 3 stages, namely, initiating, maintaining, and closing stage. So, let's start.
Good morning everyone. We are here to discuss the causes, effects and solutions to the problem of drug abuse among teenagers. We will also highlight the moral values learned from this problem. Let's begin with the causes first. Faqihah, would you like to share your view on this?
Sure. In my opinion, one of the causes that lead to this problem is lack of parents' attention. Their parents are busy with their jobs to earn a living. Hence, the children may feel lonely and might easily turn to drugs.
Initiating stage review. Other expressions to start a discussion. I would like to start the discussion by saying that today, we are going to discuss. Let's begin our discussion by other expressions to ask for an opinion. What's your view on this? How do you feel about this issue? Would you like to offer your comments? The easiest way to initiate a group discussion is to give your opinion and then ask the other members for their opinions. Other expressions to give an opinion. I think. I would say that. From my point of view.
In my opinion, one of the causes that lead to this problem is lack of parents' attention. Their parents are busy with their jobs to earn a living. Hence, the children may feel lonely and might easily turn to drugs.
Excuse me, could you clarify your point, Faqihah?
To clarify, the parents may neglect their children's physical and emotional well-being. Thus, the children may feel like they are not good enough or are lacking something to make them special. These feelings may drive them toward drug abuse to cope with their emotional needs. Do you agree with me, Hadif?
That's true to a certain extent, but I don't think family is the main cause to drug addiction. I would say that friends and other peers have an increasingly strong influence during the teen years. Teens who use drugs can sway even those without risk factors to try drugs for the first time. Teens are faced with peer pressure and can easily be influenced to experiment with substances to fit in.
I agree with you. Statistics also show that peer influence is regarded as the main cause of initial reason for using drugs among drug addicts in our country. What about the effect of drug abuse?
As far as I am concerned, people who use drugs experience a range of physical and psychological effects, such as they may have impaired motor skills and brain damage. Besides, they can be at the risk of hepatitis or HIV.
You are right. A person who is addicted to drugs not only spoils his life, but also his family's. Trust in the family member can be broken as a result of finding out that a member is an addict. When people realize that there is somebody in their family with a dark side, it leads to a myriad of feelings such as anger, guilt, shame, resentment, etc. The family's image and reputation will be jeopardized.
Maintaining stage review. Other expressions to ask for a clarification. Could you explain? What do you mean? Could you elaborate further? Other expressions to clarify. What I mean was. Let me explain. In other words. Other expressions to express agreement. I agree with you. That's a good idea. I am glad you mentioned that. Body language is very important. A smile and a slight nod will emphasize your opinion or agreement. Other expressions to express partial agreement. I see your point, but. You are right, however. I could agree with you, but.
A person who is addicted to drugs not only spoils his life, but also his family's. Trust in the family member can be broken as a result of finding out that a member is an addict. When people realize that there is somebody in their family with a dark side, it leads to a myriad of feelings such as anger, guilt, shame, resentment, etc. The family's image and reputation will be jeopardized.
I share the same view. These youngsters have an increased risk of social problems, depressions, suicidal thoughts, and violence. They also tend to involve in delinquent behaviors such as fighting and stealing. It is clear that drug abuse creates significant burden to the affected individual, their families, and society. Najihah, do you have any suggestion on how to prevent this problem?
Yes, I have a suggestion. I am convinced that parents can prevent drug addiction.
Do you mind telling us more on this?
Sure, I was trying to point out that parents are the best protection teenagers can have against drug abuse. Parents should show love and affection as their children grow. I strongly believe that a stable family atmosphere is important in preventing drug abuse.
Sorry to interrupt, but I have to say this. While there is no guaranteed way to prevent someone from abusing drugs, I would suggest that there are things that everyone can do to prevent drug abuse, such as by understanding how drug abuse develops and keep a well-balanced life.
I think having good peers is also crucial to form positive relationships and avoid from involving with drug abuse.
I suppose that's absolutely true. It's clear that each one of us should play our part in preventing drug abuse. I strongly believe that self-love and responsibility will prevent us from drug abuse.
Maintaining stage review. Other expressions to ask for a suggestion. Would you like to give a suggestion? What is your suggestion on this issue? What can you suggest to? Other expressions to make a suggestion. My suggestion is. I recommend that. In my opinion, we could. Other expressions to interrupt. Allow me to interrupt. I am sorry for interrupting. Excuse me, could I just ask you a quick question? Interrupt. Only when necessary. Do not interrupt for the sake of using the expressions to gain more marks, and remember to be polite.
To conclude, we have discussed some causes, effects, solutions, and values for the drug abuse problem. Does anyone have anything else to say? Otherwise, we shall end this group discussion here. Thank you for your contribution to this discussion.
You are welcome.
You're welcome.
You are welcome.
Closing stage review. Other expressions to conclude. In a nutshell. In conclusion. As a conclusion. Other expressions to end or close a discussion. Thank you for a fruitful and interesting discussion. Thank you very much for your attention and participation. I hope you have enjoyed this discussion. I hope by now, you have a clear picture on how to handle your own group discussion. Good luck. Thank you.